Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to talk about the world event Hallow'S End and basically what you can get from it. Now there's a currency you need to earn called Tricky Treats, and these can be obtained by completing the quests and quest lines that appear, as well as doing the Headless horsemen dungeon or instance queue. Now the quest lines, there's two of them, are pretty straightforward and basically just add a little bit of an update or a bit of information as to the Halloween dungeon against the Headless Horseman. But there are also daily quests that can give you tricky treats as well, and by doing all of these you can get a pretty decent supply, like well over 20 of them a day, which gives you a pretty good source of tricky treats along with the Headless Horseman. So it's a pretty nice way to farm them up and to essentially grab yourself some pretty good rewards. Not to mention you get some flight stones as well, which at the end of the day is pretty awesome. So the quest lines are super duper simple, and a lot of them are very easy to do, so I'm not going to touch on them too much, and I don't want to spoil the story. Now the next bit is the Headless Horseman. Now the Headless Horseman is the holiday instance, and essentially you can queue up or you can go to it manually if you want to, and you can fight the Headless Horseman and essentially beat him for a loot-filled pumpkin that will contain tricky treats, as well as potentially some other rewards, which is pretty awesome. Now we'll go through the rewards just now, but just talking about a couple things with the Headless Horseman. So there is a new hard mode that has been activated. To activate this hard mode, you are going to have to essentially go to these 4 wicker statues right in the very beginning, and essentially what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to talk to the large wicker statue in the very middle, and then activate the other statues afterwards. Basically you have to speak to the first one, and then by speaking to the other 4 you can increase the difficulty of the event, creating a hard mode. Now in this hard mode you have a chance to obtain Arfis, which is a new pet that is based on the Lich King, which is pretty cool. It is not entirely confirmed if you have to be in hard mode to obtain him, but it is definitely apparent that you need to be able to beat this event. And a lot of people have been doing it in hard mode and obtaining the pet, whereas a lot of people not in hard mode have not obtained them. The mechanics are actually pretty simple for the Headless Horseman. He spawns some pumpkins that you can just cleave through. He does this kind of like spread out maneuver, which is also pretty straightforward. And he does this clockwork based fire ability, which you can avoid relatively easily. So again, nothing too crazy. Upon completion you'll get a loot-filled pumpkin, which can contain various rewards. Now speaking of rewards, the best reward that you can get out of the loot-filled pumpkin is going to be the Headless Horseman's mount. It is probably the reward that most players are going for, but you will also get a magic broom standard along with some masks and along with some other pretty decent little rewards, along with, as I mentioned before, some tricky treats, which is always appreciated. So pretty straightforward stuff. Now there are a couple vendors that you can spend these tricky treats at, and these vendors sell some pretty interesting rewards. So basically the first one is the pet vendor. In terms of pets, there's some pretty interesting ones. If you're someone who's super into the pet collective, you have some really nice looking ones, along with also some pretty effective ones from a battle strategy point of view. So that's always pretty fun, especially when you obviously want to build or kind of function around determining the team. You then have the one vendor, which allows you to use these items to basically adjust the appearance of alternative team members. And then of course you also have the different various transmogs, as well as also the ability to buy heirloom items, which is pretty cool. So it's a pretty win-win type of scenario where I think a lot of the players are able to get some pretty decent rewards. I would say start with some of the cosmetics because they're always limited time, and then move on from there onto maybe some of the heirloom gear if you really want to look for some alternatives rather than the gold sync that is required. So yeah, but that's basically it for me. It's a really fun kind of Halloween period. I actually really like this holiday in World of Warcraft. I think it's great, and I think it's a ton of fun. So yeah, super duper excited and looking forward to essentially just trying it all. There's some achievements as well, especially for the Wicker Men, so try that out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.